It's IUI day. Tim's grumpy because he hasn't been to sleep yet. I'm tired because it is currently 5:45 in the morning and I don't like getting up in the morning. But it's IUI day. Look, smile. IUI. Good. Trying not to tense up so much. Yeah, not too bad.
All right, now, hold on for a second. Oh, here. Let me see.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki Francis and I am trying to conceive my first baby. So I have recorded this video, I would say about 5 times, and every time I have recorded it, it's either too long or I don't have enough space in my phone for it or whatever. It's really annoying. So with that being said, unfortunately I can't give you all the details about my IUI and everything else that I wanted to talk to you about, so this is probably going to be a 2-part video. I'm going to have this video and then I'm going to have another video giving you more information about my next steps when it comes to the whole IUI situation. But pretty much what's going on is I had my IUI on February 7th. It is currently February 16th and it's 10:30 at night, and like I said, I've been trying to do this video for the past 2 hours. So pretty much Tim and I went in for my IUI on February 7th. He had to give his own sample, and I'm being as polite as I possibly can by saying sample. But so anyway, he had to give his own sample. So what they did was they took his sample, they took it to either the lab or something, they cleaned it, which takes about 45 minutes to an hour. So during this time, it is 6 a.m. at this time, and Tim hasn't gone to sleep. I've only had about 4 hours of sleep. And so we're waiting in the waiting room. Tim takes a little mild nap. I'm talking to the other person who is actually doing IUI the same day as me, which is pretty cool. And so she was telling me how it's her first time doing it too, and how she was nervous, and I was like, yeah, I'm super nervous too. I went in before she did. She was still waiting when I came out. But either way, I went in to do my IUI. Maybe the whole insemination itself was probably about like 1 minute and 30 seconds from the time she walked in to the time she walks out. 1 minute and 30 seconds. She did have me lay down for like 15 minutes with my butt up in the air because of elevation and gravity, and yeah, I don't have to give you guys a science lesson on that. But anyway, so she had me lay there for about 15 minutes. When the timer went off, she told me that I needed to go home, I needed to rest, chillax, no heavy lifting, no vigorous exercising. So I didn't go to work that day. I went to work on Monday, but for the next couple of weeks, I can't do any heavy lifting. So when the timer went off, we left, came home, we passed out. I fell asleep like almost within 30 minutes of me being here, and Tim fell asleep like as soon as his head hit the pillow. I laid on the couch and he's laid out here with me so we can watch TV, but we didn't expect to pass out. We fell asleep. We were asleep from 8 to about 4 p.m. And then I ended up going back to sleep at like 12 a.m. I have insomnia, so it's harder for me to fall asleep, which is another reason why I ended up staying up until 10:30 currently right now to make another video, because I don't sleep much. So with that also being said, I decided that I am going to start, when it comes to recording videos, I will probably record videos either in my car or in this area that I currently made for myself. There's one person, well, there's a couple of people that I follow when it comes to trying to conceive videos, and they kind of have like a nice little cozy area for them to talk in and all that. So that's what I decided to do, and I actually really like it. I feel a little more not in your face. I feel more relaxed, and that's what I like about it. So back to IUI talk and all of that. So after my IUI, she did tell me that I was going to have some mild cramping. And the mild cramping was because whenever you put something through your cervix into your uterus is basically going to be like, I don't like that, and it's going to cramp up mildly. She said if it got really bad, to go to the hospital ASAP. Mine didn't get really bad. However, after the first 2 days, so we had IUI on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, my cramping kind of went away. But then it came back Tuesday and Wednesday of last week, and I was thinking it could possibly be implantation cramping, and that usually just happens when the egg is digging itself into your uterine walls, and it could cause implantation bleeding, which a lot of women have mistaken it for being spotting for their period, but it's really the egg implanting itself into your uterus walls. So I am not a doctor. I cannot tell you like, oh yeah, that's exactly what it is when you're spotting during that time. So no, that's something you physically, I just did the research on it, and that's what it pretty much said. But yeah, don't believe everything I say. But anyways, besides that, I had some mild cramping, no bleeding, and so I was talking to one of my friends, and she actually is currently pregnant. She just found out a week before I had my she found out the week I had my IUI. So if I am pregnant, we would be about 2 to 3 weeks apart, maybe a month. I don't know exactly how that works, but we'd be a couple of weeks apart. So we think that's really cool. She does get implantation cramping, and she says when she had her implantation cramping, it was feeling like a pinchy pulling feeling, I guess you could, not pulling, but just like a pinchy feeling in her uterus. And as she was explaining this, it's literally the exact same thing that I told Tim. However, I cannot test for an actual baby until the 21st. So I'm currently in my 2-week wait still, because it is February 16th. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. But it's February 16th, so I have to wait until Friday to actually test for a baby. I did take a pregnancy test on February 14th, not simply because I was hoping for a positive test, but simply for the fact that I wanted to make sure that my trigger shot was completely out of my system, because my test did come up negative and I didn't see any faint lines, nothing, so I know it's out of my system. So when I do take my test on Friday, I'm not questioning it. And that's pretty much the gist of my other videos that I was doing. The only thing is I did go into more detail about my appointment and other things that were said. But like I said, I can make a separate video for that if need be. I do want to make sure that I get this in and fit this into my video, is simply because I would like to give a shout out to one of the YouTubers that I actually watch, and I have been watching her for a while. Her name is Jasmin, and she is on, her channel is called You, Me, and Faith to Conceive. I have been watching her since the beginning of her journey and her trying to conceive journey, and I actually really love her story. She is a really great person, and her story is amazing. So you guys should actually go check her out. Today I watched one of her videos, and in her video she mentioned about believing and having trust and faith, and I'm not a very religious person, but it did actually hit me in a way where I'm like, you know what, she's right. I do need to be positive. I need to have that trust and believe that I will get pregnant one day. Even if this is a negative test on Friday, I still have my next IUI and everything that we're going to be doing for that. to where I'm actually going to be able to have a baby, which once again, I will go into more details about that in my next video. This is a part 1. I will have a part 2 probably tomorrow after I get off work. But besides that, go check out her channel. Like I said, she's a really awesome person. She uploads quite frequently. So I think she uploads a little bit more than me. But yeah, she's a really great person, and this is my shout out to her. So I just want to say thank you for actually inspiring me to tell my story on YouTube. Like, I thought this was going to be very weird talking to a camera majority of the time, but it actually became a lot more natural. So anyway, I have to go take my makeup off and get ready for bed. But I hope everybody have an amazing weekend, and I will talk to you guys sometime next week. Thank you once again. I'll see you guys later. Bye.